Remember how we saw chess masters and physicists instantly recognizing patterns that beginners miss? That's their basal ganglia at work, that automatic pattern recognition system that we talked about. And here's something really cool. We can help these students develop the same automatic pathways in math, starting with something as simple as systematic charts. Let me show you what I mean by laying out a simple problem. Find all ways to make 17 cents using just nickels and pennies. At first, they're using their declarative system, consciously thinking through each combination, trying random approaches, hoping they haven't missed any. But watch what happens when we introduce them to systematic charting. I teach them to start with the smallest possible amount of one quantity and increase it step by step until they find every solution. Starting with 0 nickels means you need 17 pennies. Then, by methodically increasing the number of nickels one by one each time, they can find all solutions. Suddenly their eyes light up. What was a random guessing game becomes something they can tackle systematically. As they practice this approach, their basal ganglia starts to take over. They begin to see the patterns automatically. You can almost see their automatic system taking over. Students stop having to think through each step consciously. Instead, they just know. Start with the smallest possible value, then increase step by step until you find every solution. But here's where it gets really interesting. Once students build these automatic pathways, they can more easily see how to apply them to completely different problems. Take finding all possible rectangles with whole number sides that have a perimeter of 12 centimeters. Look at how the systematic approach works. With very little prompting, they start with the smallest possible width and work up systematically, just like they did with the coins. Their basal ganglia recognizes this is just like the nickels and pennies. Start small, increase step by step to find every possibility. To reach the next level of automatic pattern recognition, students need one more key insight. Let me show you with a simple game using 2 spinners. Imagine we're playing a game with 2 spinners. One spinner has 2 equal sections marked 1 and 2. The other has 3 equal sections colored red, blue, and green. Suppose we want to list all possible outcomes when we spin both spinners. We might start by assuming the first spinner shows 1, then list all possibilities. Here's the question. When filling in your chart, would you write the number 1 2 times in the left column because there are 2 outcomes on the first spinner, or 3 times because there are 3 outcomes on the second spinner? Some teachers think they should write 1 twice because the first spinner has 2 sections. But here's the key insight. Once you've spun a 1, nothing else can happen on that first spinner. You need to account for all 3 possibilities on the second spinner. So you should write the 1 3 times to list all possibilities from the second spinner. R means red, B means blue, and G means green. Then you write a 2 3 times and list all 3 color possibilities again. Having them organize the second column alphabetically reinforces this systematic pattern. Given more time, I could show you how this schema of alphabetical ordering helps solve many problems in probability and combinatorics, a branch of math that's essential for computer science. When students develop a strong schema for systematic listing, they can solve problems that would stump most adults. Take rock, paper, scissors. What's the probability that both players make the same choice? Students who've built these automatic pathways jump right in following the logic. In making the chart, I would assume that the first player played rock. I would write R for rock 3 times in the first column of the chart. Then I would list the 3 plays the second player could make, which are rock, paper, and scissors. I'd continue to fill in the chart in this way. Here P stands for paper and S for scissors. From the chart, you can see there are 9 ways the player could play a round of the game, but there's only 3 ways that they can make the same move. So the probability that 2 players will play the same move is 3 out of 9, or 1/3. When students get enough practice solving problems with charts, their automatic system begins to handle these calculations naturally, without needing the charts anymore. That's their mathematical schema developing, their organized pattern recognition becoming more sophisticated. And this isn't just some simplistic rote skill where they don't understand what's really going on. The reality is that students who can count outcomes accurately understand math at a very deep conceptual level.
You know what strikes me about this? These students sound just like the physics graduates we talked about earlier, recognizing deep patterns automatically. We're helping students to develop deep mathematical schemas, those powerful pattern recognition abilities that make someone an expert. It's about both mastering step-by-step methods and understanding how they work. Through practice, these systematic methods become automatic, freeing up mental space for deeper mathematical thinking.
This brings us to an interesting question, though. If systematic, organized approaches help students develop such strong schemas, why do so many teachers feel pressured to dress up math problems with elaborate real-world scenarios? Follow us to the next video as we explore this fascinating challenge.